A very warm welcome to my dear students. Myself Vandana Gaur, I am currently associated with GL Bajaj Institute of Management and Research, Greater Noida in the capacity of Assistant Professor. I welcome you all in the today's session on the topic Fundamentals of Individual Behavior. Now, this particular topic is it comes in the subject Management Concepts and Organizational Behavior, and it is the first topic of third unit. Now, before starting the concept of individual behavior, let us understand that what actually behavior is. How do we define behavior? There are so many people in this world, and every individual is having a different kind of behavior. Some behave in a very good manner, some behave in a very bad manner, and there are so many varieties of behavior which exist. So, actually how do we define this behavior? So, this behavior is, there are various stimulus which exist in our environment. Now, that environment that stimulus can be internal or external. External, the forces which are acting beyond each other, the forces which are acting in our environment, in our situation, they act as the external stimuli, and the forces which are acting within ourselves, they act as the internal stimuli. So, individual behavior is a blend of reactions, and when these external and the internal stimuli, they come together, then a blend of reaction is created, and that blend of reaction is said as the behavior. The outcome of both of these stimulus, that is internal and the external, is the behavior of a particular individual. How that particular individual reacts in different situation, that defines his or her behavior. For example, currently there is a situation of COVID which is going on. Now, under this situation, there are many people who have lost their job. So, the behavior which they will put on during the tenure when they are unemployed will be different. This is what? This is the external stimuli, because of which their behavior is changing. Any reason, for any reason, it can be recession, it can be COVID, whatsoever be the reason, if a person loses his job, then his behavior will completely change, because there are certain forces, external forces which are exerting on him, because of which his or her behavior changes. So, individual behavior is a blend of reactions. Now, what are the determinants of individual behavior? What are the factors which actually determine individual behavior? So, under that there are a host of factors which determine the behavior. We have categorized those factors into 4 types of characteristics: biographical characteristic, learned characteristics, environmental characteristics, and organizational characteristics. Now, let us understand one by one what are these characteristics. So, the first kind of characteristic is the biographical characteristics. We can say it biographical factors also. The biographical factors, they play a very important role in shaping one's individual behavior. What are these biographical characteristics? Characteristics are those characteristics which do not change with the external stimulus. They do not change, because they come up by the biography of a particular individual. Like, the first is the age. Now, in an organization, there are various individuals who are at a different age group who work, like there are older age people, there are middle age people, and there are the people who are at the young age also. The kind of behavior they show in an organization or in the personal life, it differs according to their age. Why? Because suppose if a person who is of a old age, his behavior will be the outcome of his or her experiences. The teenage, the younger age people, their behavior will be different, because their perception towards life is completely different. So, age definitely plays an important role in shaping one's individual behavior. Gender, male, female. The male and the female, both of them have different abilities with respect to the physical abilities, with respect to their perception. So, yes, gender also plays a role in determining one's individual behavior. Marital status, married, unmarried. In an organization, if there are more of married women, now we combine the marital status with the gender, because like if a woman, she is married, then her rate of absenteeism will be a little high as compared to an unmarried woman, because she is having some kind of responsibilities. So, her behavior will definitely differ from a woman who is unmarried. So, yes, marital status has an important role in the behavior of that particular individual. Ability. Now, what are abilities? Ability is the capacity of one individual to do some kind of work. That ability can be intellectual ability and the physical ability. What are intellectual abilities? Intellectual abilities are the mental work which an individual has to do. The more of conceptual knowledge, the more of reasoning, the more of aptitude. An individual who is having more of intellectual abilities will have a behavior, will have a tendency to work at a level where more of mental work is required. While physical abilities refers to the physical strength of an individual, the stamina of an individual. So, the people who are working at the lower level in the organization, like workers, it is required, it is demanded from them that they should have more of physical abilities rather than the intellectual abilities. So, these are the biographical characteristics which are one of the determinant of individual behavior. Second, learned characteristics. Now, learned characteristics, as it is clear from the name itself, learned. The characteristics which an individual learns through his life. Under that, the first one is the attitude. What is attitude? Attitude is the way an individual looks at something. Attitude is the way at which an individual takes up the things. That is an attitude. Attitude can be good also and attitude can be bad also. From where this attitude comes? That attitude comes from the second characteristic or the second factor of learned characteristic, that is values. Values which are inculcated in an individual from his family, right from his birth. These values, they form an individual part of an individual behavior. Suppose I have a very strong value system and I believe that I should always be honest in doing my work. I should never lie. That is my value system which is working. So, the kind of behavior which I will possess in the organization will always be different with an individual who thinks it's okay. It's okay to say some kind of lies, to cheat with your work. And definitely it will have an effect on the performance of the individual, whether it is me or whether it is any other employee working in the organization. Third learned characteristic is the perception. What is perception? Perception is the way we perceive our things. How do you perceive? How do you perceive the object, the individual who is standing in front of you? Everybody's perception is different, because perception is the way how I understand the individual. Suppose if in an organization two people enter, the one is very well dressed and the other one is very hastily dressed. So, what you will perceive with that? You will perceive that the person who is very well dressed, he belongs to some kind of good background. So, the way you will behave with that person will be different with the way you will behave with the person who is not very well dressed. That is our perception, how we perceive the things. So, that perception will determine our behavior towards others. And the last learned characteristic is the motivation. Motivation is what? Motivation is the forces which act within ourselves. There are so many forces which act within ourselves, and these forces actually act as a motivating factor for us. So, whether an individual is motivated or not, if today I am very well motivated, like if an individual learned a news ki oh, today I have been promoted, he or she will be very much motivated, and the whole day his or her behavior will be very nice, very good. In everything he will be seeing the positive things. On the contrary, if he or she receives the news, oh, you are demoted, your performance is not good, the whole day he or she will be feeling depressed. The behavior will be guided or directed by that particular news. So, yes, again motivation as a learned characteristic plays an important role in determining an individual behavior. Third type of characteristics are the environmental characteristics. Now, what are these environmental characteristics? Environmental characteristics are those characteristics which operate in the physical world. The factors which operate in the physical world, which can be seen, which can be heard, even they can be felt and they can be touched. That means the things which happen in the environment of an individual, they are the part of the environmental factors. The most important type of environment which an individual makes is the social environment, because man is a social animal. He or she lives in a society, and when an individual lives in a society, then he or she makes different kind of relationships. That relationships can be with his or her peers, friends, family, colleagues, workers, supervisors, subordinates, anyone with whom an individual interacts. So, all these people, they form a social group of an individual, the social environment of an individual, and these people, how they behave, these people how they are behaving with you, that also has an effect on the determining the behavior of an individual. So, yes, again environmental factors, they also play an important role in determining the behavior of an individual. The last type of characteristics are organizational characteristics. Organizational characteristics, the factors which exist within the organization. Physical facilities. Oh, today I entered into my office and I saw the office is so clean. My table is so organized. There is so proper ventilation. I am feeling very good today and I feel like working. These are the physical facilities which I get from the organization. So, if the physical facilities in an organization are good, they determine the behavior of an individual in a positive manner, and vice versa it goes. Organizational structure and design. To whom I have to report? What is the hierarchy level? What is the line of command? Is there authority responsibility relationship in the organization? What is this? These are the structure, organizational structure and design. If these things are framed in a proper manner, if they are put at place in the proper manner, if they are in sync in an organization, then the work becomes smoother and it has a positive effect on the behavior as well as the performance of the individual. Leadership. Who is my leader? Who is leading me in the organization? Does that leader has an effect on my behavior? Yes, definitely, because leader is a person who motivates and directs an individual in an organization. So, the kind of leadership an individual receives in the organization, he or she always have an effect on their behavior. And the last is the reward system. The reward system, a good reward system in an organization always yields a good behavior of the employees, because in that the employees are satisfied that whatever I am performing in the organization, I am getting reward for it. So, these are the kind of learned these are kind of characteristics which are basically determine an individual behavior. Now, moving forward, what are the types of individual behavior which an individual represents in the workplace? So, basically there are 5 types of individual behavior which are presented by an individual at the workplace. The first one, the task performance. Second is organizational citizenship behavior, we also called as at OCB. Counterproductive work behaviors, that is the third type of behavior which is shown by the individuals in the organization. Joining and staying with the organization and maintaining work attendance. So, these are the mainly these are the 5 types of behavior which are shown by the individuals while working in the organization. Now, what are these types of behaviors? The first one is the task performance. Performance with the task assigned to an individual. Now, whatever be the task an individual is performing in the organization, it includes a host of other activities also. For example, if an individual is working in the stock market, then working in the stock market, sitting as a dealer, then he needs to perform various other jobs like providing information to his or her clients, gathering the information, analyzing the data, giving information about the profitable trades. All these tasks, they are a part of one particular job. So, how an individual works or performs a task, that is basically task performance. That is, it refers to the goal directed behaviors, how to achieve that goal under the individual's control that support organizational objectives, which are under my control. I can do that. All these tasks which come under, all these duties which come under the individual's job, that refers to the task performance. That is converting, if an individual is converting the raw material into a finished good, so the process from converting the raw material to the finished good, it includes a host of other activities, which ultimately leads to the target, to the goal. So, that is what task performance is. Second type of behavior which is shown by an individual in the organization is organizational citizenship behavior. Now, what is organizational citizenship behavior? While working in an organization, we make certain peers, we make certain friends, we make a social relationship with them, we maintain a good bonding with our peers. Now, organizational citizenship behaviors refers to helping your colleagues, helping your peers in their work problems. Suppose if somebody is having some kind of work problem, I am not able to do this kind of task, I am facing this kind of difficulty. Okay, I will help you. I have to take some leave Can you adjust your work schedule according to mine? Yes, I can. This kind of behavior is known as organizational citizenship behavior. That is, the employees, they are creating a citizenship within the organization. There is a various form of cooperation and helpfulness which an individual shows to others to support the organizational, social and psychological concepts. Third is the counterproductive work behaviors, and it is contrary to what is OCB, that is organizational citizenship behavior. Under OCB, an individual is representing the helpful nature. Counterproductive work behaviors is when somebody in the organization is voluntarily showing the behavior which is harming others, which is harmful towards the goodwill of the organization also, like harassing somebody, unnecessary harassing somebody, creating conflicts within the organization, voluntarily creating some kind of situation because of which the employees are feeling stressed. These are counterproductive work behaviors, because of which the image of the organization can also be harmed. Fourth type of behavior which is shown at the workplace is joining and staying with the organization. Now, task performance, organizational citizenship behavior and counterproductive work behaviors are not the only behaviors which are represented by the individuals in an organization, but how many individuals carry on with the organization and remain with the organization, that is also a very important type of behavior which is shown by the individuals. There are many employees in the organization who leave the organization very fast. So, retaining the employees, making them stay in the organization is again a concern for the organization, and this is also a type of behavior which is shown by the individuals in the organization, because individuals, they tend to leave the organizations, they tend to change the organizations very fast. And the last type of the behavior at the workplace is maintaining the work attendance. Now, many individuals in the organization, they have the tendency that okay, the time for coming to the organization is 10 o'clock, I can come at 10:10, it is okay to be 10 minutes late. So, that is what? That is the attendance which you are showing, which an individual is showing in the organization, the behavior, what is the behavior of that individual? Coming on time, coming at scheduled times. So, this is also a kind of behavior which is represented by the individuals in the organization. And the last topic under the fundamentals of individual behavior is the Mars model of individual behavior. Now, what is this Mars model? In the very beginning, I have said that the behavior of an individual is the outcome of the internal and the external stimuli. Now, this is what actually Mars model says. The Mars model says that the individual behavior is a result of internal and external factors, which when combined together, they have an effect on the behavior of the individual. The full form of the Mars model is individual motivation, M for motivation, A for abilities, role perception and situational factors. So, this model, it shows that these 4 factors when combined together, they have a mixed effect on the individual performance. If any factor lags behind or if any factor weakens, then performance will decrease. So, as we can see over here, the Mars model of individual behavior, there are individual characteristics. These individual characteristics are defined as personalities, values, self-concept, perception, emotions, attitude and stress. These individual characteristics, they differ with every individual, because everybody is having different kind of personality, different kind of value system, different perception, etc. these individual characteristics, they have a effect on the motivation, ability and the role perception of an individual. And when combined with the situational factors, the outcome is the behavior and results. What is the motivation? Employee motivation. The employee motivation can be categorized into three parts: direction, intensity and persistence. Direction: an employee will be highly motivated if he or she is directed towards his goal in a proper manner. If an employee loses his direction, then it becomes difficult for him or her to achieve the goal. So, the employee will not feel motivated. Second category of motivation which an individual receives is the intensity. With what intensity, with what power, with what kind of zeal an individual is moving towards the goal. That is again guided by the direction. If there is a proper direction, then intensity will be high. And the last is the persistence. Persistence is how much an employee is into a continued efforts, continued motivation, pushing the efforts in a continuous way so as to achieve the goal. So, these three factors, that is direction, intensity and motivation, they act as a force within a person, because of which he or she feels motivated. Second aspect of the mass model is the ability. Ability comprises of aptitude and learned capabilities. Aptitude which a person is having within himself inherently, and learned capabilities which an individual learns with the passage of time. Both of these, when combined together, they form competencies. Competencies means how much an individual is able to compete with others, that is the kind of skills which an individual is having, because of which he is having an advantage over the other employees. Third, role perception. Role perception is what? Role perception is with what, how much clarity an employee is perceiving his or her role. Now, that role perception is defined as the extent to which a person accurately understands the job duties assigned to or expected of him or her. Does that individual is having the clarity how to perform that job? Does that individual has the role clarity how to do that job? And are there different ways to do that work, and that employee is having a preferred behavior. Okay, I know three ways through which that role can be done, that job can be done, and I will choose this one. So, that is role perception. And the last are the situational factors. Situational factors are the factors that are beyond the employee's immediate control, which are not under my control, and because of those factors, the behavior of an individual is affected. So, that is all in this mass model, and these are the points basically which are considered while determining the behavior of an individual. These are the points which the organization considers while understanding the human behavior, the employees who are working in the organization, and the behavior because of which their performance is being affected, either in a positive or a negative way. Thank you all.